What's happening, everybody? So today we got, now there's being reports basically that not only are American citizens still trapped in Afghanistan, not being able to get out, it's being said that one of our U.S. interpreters that was living over there, had a family over there, all of that, been over there interpreting for the American and Afghanistan. Now, they said he came to the gates at the airport to try to get on a flight to get home. He came to the gates at the airport with his SI card, I believe is what they call it. It's basically a personal identification for him. Shows that he's U.S., that he works for the government over here, and he should have been able to get on a flight. It's being said that they took his paperwork, the Taliban took his paperwork, basically destroyed it, took him back to the town that he came from, that he was staying in, beheaded his cousins, everybody that he knew, and then beheaded him. So, for all of our officials over here to act like this shit's not happening, for all of them to act like there's not Americans trapped over there, Americans are being able to come home. This shit is not, it's not a game. It's not happening. This shit is real. It's also being reported. Now, this is from somebody that's in the service, in the military, that was on a Skype call basically earlier this morning. And he's saying that they have reports that the Taliban is actually in the tower at the airport, and he's the one basically determining. He's going over the list of who's leaving, who's getting on the flights, who's not being able to get on the flight. He has the manifest. He's reading it. He is a Taliban official. He's the one determining what's happening over here. If you haven't seen yet, there's a video going around of literally somebody clinging to one of the aircrafts, trying to hold on, trying to fly out, and falling from about 20-30 feet in the air, hitting the ground. Because this is how scared that these people are for their lives. They're so scared that they're willing to try anything to get up out of here, because they know that if they stay, that they're going to be killed. There was footage of a lady and her young child crouching down, trying to hide behind a rock wall, because there were gunshots going off back and forth between soldiers and Taliban, from what I understand, or from what it looked like, I should say. Like I say, this shit it's horrible. It's hard to even watch. And for our people, our officials, I don't even want to call them our people, but our government officials to act like it's not happening, to be just saying, no, it's not that big of a deal, everything's nonchalant, we got people going on vacations and shit. It's beyond not okay. This shit is too far. Why did our soldiers spend damn near 20 years over there trying to help Afghanistan get it back how they wanted it to be? Basically trained an army. They had an army of 300,000 soldiers. The Taliban come in, they're about 60,000 strong, and they're able to take out a 300,000. How does that make sense to you? Let me tell you how it makes sense. Because reports came out afterwards that basically majority of the soldiers that were Afghan soldiers were only there because they were being paid. They were being paid so much, they were being paid more than our soldiers were being paid. So they're being paid really well over there to train and be a soldier and this and that. But once they figured out that this shit was all over and America was leaving and they weren't going to be getting paid no more, They said, fuck being a soldier. We're not going to fight. We're not going to die. So they all just left. Not all of them, obviously, but most of them just left. This is the stuff that's being reported back. So that is how the Taliban was able to run through the entire country, ransack the entire country, not just parts of it, not just cities, not just different regions, the whole country. They have acquired control of the whole country. And now, instead of our president doing what he should do, basically it's sending soldiers over there to get the rest of our people out of there, get the rest of our guys, our interpreters, everything out of there. He's acting like it's not happening, like it's not a big deal, and they're over there being killed. This is literal shit. This is really happening. And at what point does it stop? At what point does it become real to people, and that's if they start saying something, making something happen? Because it's like, really, it's just, you don't know what to say, because the ignorance that you see on all these news stations, the shit that they're trying to push that's not real, is just beyond just. It's not like people aren't seeing the footage being sent back, the real shit that's happening. And if they're not, then they're not. They're not trying to. They just want to go with what's on the news because that makes them feel better. It makes them feel safer. But in all reality, Trump just put out a press release, a video, if you will. And as he said, there's a pretty good chance they're bringing terrorists into our country, saying, here you go, we'll get you set up. Well, we got people over here in the U.S. in every state that are homeless, have nowhere to live, can't eat, but yet they're going to bring, how many they bring? At least 30,000 that I saw the other day. They're flying them in, they're going to house them, they're going to feed them, they're going to take care of them. And you're not going to tell me that some of these don't have any ties to terrorism, aren't terrorists. And if you do, you're full of shit, and or you're just too dense to understand how shit works, because it's almost impossible. They've been doing it for years. They've been sending people over here. The Twin Towers situation, they sent people over here acting like everything was normal. They were just trying to go to school, learn how to fly, learn how to be pilots, and what were they doing the whole time? Figuring out how and what they had to do to kill Americans. So they're bringing terrorists and they're going to house them while our people our U.S. citizens are on the street. So think about all that. Give me your opinion on this shit, because I like to hear other people's opinions and what they think about it, because, you know, I'm not the type of person that thinks one thing and it's my way or no way. I'll listen to everybody's point of view, but if you're wrong, you're wrong at a certain point, you know what I mean? Facts are facts. You can't argue facts. But give me your opinion, tell me what you think about this, and tell me what you think needs to be done. Obviously, the way Biden decided to pull out of there was completely backwards from the plan that Trump had set up, which would have worked because everybody would have been out, and our military would have been the last ones out, and they could defend on the way out. But he did it completely backwards because of just pure ignorance, or in my opinion, just because, like he did everything else, anything Trump had set up, anything Trump had fixed or made right, he destroyed, flipped around, turned around backwards, just to say he did it. Just to, I guess he thought, get at Trump, which isn't hurting Trump, it's hurting the U.S., it's hurting Americans, us. So tell me what you think about it. Like I said, if you haven't already went and subscribed to the channel, go and do it. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, turn it on, like, comment, dislike, whatever you feel you need to do. Other than that, everybody stay safe. Watch your families. Obviously, wash your hands. Keep, stay clean, because this virus is not a joke either. And other than that, I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. I'm out.